Welcome back, everyone, to the next installment of Chaos Child. We are chilling after the intense event and the aftermath. We were hanging out in a room doing nothing at all. A few days ago, I never would have imagined I'd be living in a room with a girl from my club, but sadly, nothing romantic had happened at all. All I did was watch the news on TV. I wanted to look online, but Kazuki was using the computer the whole time and wouldn't give it to me. Even now, Kazuki was seated in front of the only computer in the room, a low-spec compact laptop. There was an angry glare in her eyes as she stared at it. It was like she was trying to intimidate her monitor. Her frustration was plain to see on her face. She was a totally different person than the one who'd cried as she told me about her powers 2 days ago. Actually, this was the Kazuki I always saw in the club room, wasn't it? She slammed her fist against the table in annoyance. I thought I could hear the sound of her gritting her teeth.
ゲームにそんなに熱くなるなよ。また負けたのか?
She was sulking. If you let her, Hanakazuki would spend the whole day playing video games. She would barely even eat. The only food in the room was dried squid and lollipops. Well, of course, both of which were available in enormous quantities. It freaked me out a little, honestly. Of course, thanks to them, I was able to eat something without having to leave. Kazuki ran her fingers through her hair violently, trying to vent her frustration. She'd been angry ever since yesterday. When I asked her what was wrong, she'd said, "Oh, that's frustrating when that's all you do." Basically, she was having withdrawal symptoms from being unable to play her games. Sheesh. Then she slowly stood up and headed for the door. For the past 2 days, she'd been unwilling to leave the room. She was probably still thinking about what had happened at the school. I felt bad about it since I was the one who got her involved. Had she recovered? The newspaper club room, I guess? I was too shocked to say anything. She couldn't handle playing the game on her low-spec PC anymore? Sure, the one in the club room was pretty high-end, but I felt like I solved the mystery of why she was always playing in the club room. It was never clear if that computer belonged to the school or was someone's personal property. It was one of the 7 mysteries of the newspaper club. Really? I didn't really try to stop her. I didn't feel like going to school yet. Part of it was that if I did, I'd remember the terror I'd felt. But more importantly, I didn't want to answer all the questions I knew Kurusu and Ito were going to ask. That was why I'd spent the last 2 days cooped up in this room. No one knew I was here right now. God, they must be scared out of their wits. I've been getting calls from Saraka and Kurusu all day since yesterday, but I'd ignored them all. I was sure Kazuki was going to leave, but instead she turned around when she got to the front door. It looked like she was still hesitant about going outside. I'd never been able to get into a game as much as Kazuki did. All I ever did was play a few to kill some time. But when I saw how Kazuki's life seemed to revolve around her game, I started to wonder what was so interesting about it. Oh, I don't know, the fact that she could talk to people, and that one person in particular knows what's going on.
No, さっき和樹がやっていたゲーム、僕もちょっとやってみていいか?
Kazuki nodded, so I sat down in front of the PC. The game screen was still displayed on the monitor. It was a Western game called Call of Counterfield. That's kind of funny. So it wasn't even ESO. Well, I take it back then.
これ銃で撃ち合うゲームだよな?
I get the feeling we're going to be really good at this. I think they're called FPS, right? I have no idea what demagoguery is, but FPS, let's elucidate. First-person shooter, game jargon, a genre of shooting games. The term refers to any game which is played in first-person view, but especially games where the player controls a character with a gun who fights enemies on foot. In an FPS, the player's character is not displayed on screen, except for certain parts such as an arm or the weapon they're holding. One of the most popular genres of game in North America. When a character's whole body is displayed on the screen, the game is referred to as a TPS, or third-person shooter.
どうやって操作するんだ?
Kazuki sighed a little and came over to me.
マウス、手を乗せて。
She moved my hand to the mouse. My hand was on top of the mouse and Kazuki's hand was on top of mine. She was so close. She was right on top of me.
移動はキーボードの W、A、S、D
really spelling that one
ダッ
out.
シュはシフトキー。グレネード投げるのが G。
I was too focused on Kazuki to listen to what she was saying.
じゃあ、やってみて。かも。
Kazuki started the game without me. I was placed into a lobby while the game matched me with someone else, but only for a second before it threw me right into the middle of a match.
なんだこれ
I was so caught off guard that I panicked a little. And when I moved, the screen was jerky. It was really hard to control. I guess we want to lower the mouse sensitivity? Even if I found someone to try and shoot, they'd shoot me first and I'd die. I ended the game with 0 kills and 31 deaths. Yeah, that sounds about right. That was not good. I don't know how Kazuki managed to play when the screen was this jerky. The computer specs weren't nearly good enough. Oh no, so it's not mouse sensitivity, it's just like skipping? That sucks. I felt like I understood why she was so stressed out.
タクル先輩、下手くそかも。
初心者だし画面カクカクだしそれにその腕に触れているのが気になって集中できなかったから
She kept whispering, not that way, dummy, no, and not there in my ear too. Oh, it's so frustrating.
手だってずっと置きっぱなしだし
Kazuki's right hand had been on top of mine during the whole game. Oh yeah, right hand. I totally forgot, she did say WASD. I play with the left-handed mouse. I was like, why with the right hand? Oh yeah, right, because everybody uses the right hand with a mouse. Kazuki seemed to finally notice how close we were. She was right next to me, so close I could feel her breathing. Her eyes went wide and her face flushed red. Her breath tickled my cheek. Neither of us had showered in 2 days, so I could smell the sweat in her body. We were close enough to kiss. Cool Cat Press would tell me that this was the sign it was okay to push her down. You know what? It probably would. And we were alone in her room. I couldn't take my eyes off her soft lips. This was bad. I didn't know what was going on, but this had to be bad.
カズキ
うん。
僕は
Suddenly the intercom rang. I came back to my senses and leaped away from Kazuki. That scared me, but it saved me too. If I hadn't interrupted, I might have put my hands on Kazuki and gotten punched across the room. That was something that superficial normals did. Well, alright. I wasn't like those normals. I was a more stoic sort of normal. Yeah, that's what we are. A cold, calculating machine. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Kazuki glanced at me as I tried frantically to calm myself down. Because that's what stoic people do, is they're constantly panicking. Then picked up the intercom receiver. Wait, she didn't talk on the intercom either? How was she supposed to communicate with anyone? Kazuki slowly put down the receiver. It looked like she managed to communicate with them. She turned to me, and looked like something was troubling her.
いや喋っていいよていうか喋ってくれ
I mean, it's easy for us to say.
のの先輩が来たかも。
Guess we're dead. That's right, just talk normally. It'll take more than a word or two to doom me. Ooh. Remember this screen, everybody.
Huh?
No, was here? I was doomed! Why would Kurusu visit Kazuki's room? Of course, there was only one reason.
学校には来ない。トレーラーハウスには帰ってこない。青葉寮にも戻らない。セリカのところにもいない。伊藤君のところにも行っていない。となれば、その次の選択肢はここでしょう。タクルは友達少ないから、新聞部の部員以外に頼れる人はいなさそうだし。
She's 100% right, but ouch.
まさか本当に和樹の部屋に押しかけているなんて夢にも思わなかったけど
I was relieved to see that Kurusu looked healthy. I probably didn't have to worry about her knife wound anymore. But she was mad. This was the extra mad version of Kurusu. I knew it was my own fault for calling Sarika once on Tuesday morning and then ignoring everyone's calls. I wanted to run away if I could.
それで聞かせてくれない？まずどうしてタクルが和樹の部屋にいるのか
That's where she wanted to start? She didn't care about what happened when I was attacked by the pyrokinetic?
タクル、答えなさい。
成り行きで
月曜日のことが関係しているの？
Kazuki and I both nodded at the same time.
そう。だからって同年代の女子の部屋に3日間も居座っているのは高校生としての自覚に欠けると思わない？
Good point. You could tell she was the student council president.
和樹に迷惑だと思わないの？
それは。
Kazuki shook her head. She was embarrassed for some reason. Evidently she hadn't thought it was a bother.
本当に？タクルが先輩だから遠慮しているんじゃない？
Kazuki kept shaking her head. She seemed to have no intention of talking.
もしかしてあなたたち付き合っているとかそういうこと？
That's amazing. Both Kazuki and I shook our heads as hard as we could. I mean, well, I could understand where she'd gotten that idea.
そうなの。
For some reason, Kurusu looked a little relieved.
タクル、もう大丈夫なのよね？
By okay, she probably meant what happened Monday. I was sure she'd been worried too.
大丈夫だと思う。
I mean, if we've just been here the whole time, is she seeing our uniform just covered with blood?
僕らを襲ってきたあの女はもう渋谷にはいないはずだから。
Of course I didn't say that because we killed her.
だったら学校に出てきたら？セリカや伊藤君を心配してる。
Yeah, this is a rare case where Sarika probably actually has no clue what's going on, because she can't read our mind over the phone.
家に一人でいるのが不安なら青葉寮に来ればいいし。
そういうわけにはいかない。もしかしたらあの女の狙いは最初から僕だったかもしれないんだ。
Even if the odds were low now, they weren't zero.
だからクルスや尾上と一緒にいると巻き込んでしまう。青葉寮には父さんやユイやユウトもいるんだ。
I mean, that's a good excuse, but... Well, what about Kazuki? No problem getting her involved?
和樹なら巻き込んでもいいっていうこと？
Damn, got me.
それは和樹はすでに巻き込んでしまったんだ。だから。
Kurusu stared at my clothes. Oh, we are coming to that. I hadn't changed out of the bloodstained shirt since Wednesday. Kurusu would be really worried about that, of course.
やっぱり学校での事件はあなたたちが関係していたのね。
I nodded.
一体何が起きたの？
和樹は。
Kazuki and I looked at one another. But Kazuki quickly looked down. I needed to keep her power and what we'd done at school on Monday a secret.
僕を助けてくれた。そのおかげで和樹まで狙われる可能性がある。それだけしか言えない。これはクルスや尾上たちを巻き込まないためでもあるんだ。分かってほしい。
いつもと同じね。
Technically, this is true, though. Kurusu smiled sadly.
いいわ。
クルス、僕は。
Kazuki suddenly offered us both a lollipop. She was trying to say that these were for us, evidently.
ありがとう。まったく、セリカとは違う意味でマイペースな子ね。
Kurusu chuckled inside, then took the lollipop. She didn't put it in her mouth, though. I took it, unwrapped it, and then plopped it in my mouth. It tasted like strawberry. A cloyingly sweet flavor soon filled my mouth.
和樹はタクルに迷惑かけられてない？この際だから言いたいことがあれば言っていいのよ。いいの？そう。タクルはあなたにとって先輩だけど、ここはあなたの部屋なんだから、主張するところはきちんと主張していいんだからね。それと和樹、あなたお風呂入ってる？
Yeah, I did find that weird. We didn't shower in 2 or 3 days. Why not?
入ってないでしょ。タクルがいるせい？
I mean, whatever, a bathroom is a separate room. Kazuki's face became beet red as she shook her head. It wasn't my fault, it was because she'd been playing too many video games. Oh no.
私がタクルのこと見張っているから、今からシャワーだけでも浴びてくれば？
But apparently, like, I didn't shower either though, so what's my excuse?
その後で買い出しに行ってくるわ。どうせちゃんとした食事してないでしょ。簡単なものだけど作ってあげる。タクルの着替えも必要でしょうし。
Yeah, certainly.
あ、それは。
That would be great.
ほら、カズキ、ささっと動いて。
Kurusu practically shoved Kazuki into the bathroom. Before long, I heard the sound of falling water. This was awkward. It was awkward enough being here with Kurusu, but I could hear almost every sound Kazuki made as she showered. I mean, it's a shower, dude.
カズキはタクルに心を開いたのかしら。セリカと違ってカズキは誰に対しても壁を作っているから。あの子を見ていると時々ね、新聞部に勧誘してよかったのかなって思うことがある。
But boy is that ironic. She's not like Serika, she puts up walls. I mean, Serika's very friendly with everybody, but
そういえばカズキを部に連れてきたのってクルスだったな。
ええ、新学期が始まって何日か経った頃かな。その日は風が強くてね、あの子一人でプリントの山を運んでいたんだけど、それが風で飛ばされちゃって困ってた。
blew them
だか
away.
ら拾うのを手伝ってあげたの。でもあの通り全く喋らないでしょ。この子大丈夫かなって心配になって、職員室まで私もついて行ったのよ。そしたら和樹が何も言えないのをいいことに、担任の先生から余計なことまであれこれ頼まれちゃっていて、和樹が断れないでいたのを見かねて口を出したの。そんなことがあって、部活に入っていないなら新聞部においでって誘ったんだけど、おとなしそうだったから部活動とか興味ないかもって思ってた。そしたら何日かして部室にひょっこり顔を出したから、私の方がびっくりしちゃった。
So that's how it happened. That was just like Kurusu.
でもあの子が何を考えているのかなかなかわからなくて、私に言われて仕方なく新聞部に入ったんだったらどうしようって今でも時々考えるの。
本人は毎日部室に来ているんだから、いやいやっていうことはないと思う。
Her main reason was probably to play video games, but now I knew why Kurusu was more concerned about Kazuki than anyone else in the club.
カズキはきっとクルスに感謝してるんじゃないかって僕は思うよ。いや、まあ実際はわからないけれど。
I was mumbling and stumbling over my words because it felt kind of like I was talking about myself.
和樹のことお願いね。
Yet remember, each of these paths so far has been romantic. Like, we didn't go there with Uki, but she was like, ah, well, wouldn't it have been nice? And with Arimura and Kurusu, it just straight up was romance, so are we gonna do this as well with Kazuki? Maybe?
仲良くしてあげて。
分かってるよ。同じ部員なんだし。
She really was nosy. That was why everybody counted on her so much as the student council president. And then the door to the bathroom opened and Kazuki came tumbling out. Wow, shocking new visual.
ずいぶん早いわね。5分も経ってないんじゃない？ちゃんと髪洗ったの？
That is fast. Her hair was a little wet, and her cheeks were a little flushed from the hot shower. I could smell the pleasant scent of shampoo. Why did she look a little cuter than usual now that she was out of the shower?
ほら、ちゃんと髪拭きなさい。
Really? Kurusu smiled gently and started to dry Kazuki's hair with a towel.
そんなに慌てて出てこなくてもよかったのに。
Kazuki fidgeted as she let Kurusu dry her hair. And then... her stomach grumbled. Both Kurusu and I burst out laughing.
お腹空いたのね。いいわ。タクルの着替えも取りに行かなきゃいけないし、ついでに買い出しも行ってくる。食べたいものある？
ううん。
何でもいいのね。
For some reason, Kazuki got on the ground and bowed in gratitude. About an hour later, Kurusu came back and made us a simple meal. The table was lined up with fried ginger pork, tofu and onion miso soup, and a spinach salad.
本当に簡単に作ったものだから味は保証できないけど。
But I knew exactly how good at cooking Kurusu was. Until recently, she'd cook for me every day, and Kurusu was best at simple dishes like these. She'd make several of them in the blink of an eye. Kazuki was looking at Kurusu's face to see if it was okay to eat.
どうぞ。
Kazuki put her hands together and bowed her head. She might not say anything, but she had good table manners. She took a bite of the ginger pork. After just one bite, her face broke out into a grin. I didn't know if I'd ever seen Kazuki smile like that before. It felt like I was seeing something really rare. She hadn't eaten any real food for the past 2 days, and normally she only ate lollipops and dried squid. Kurusu's cooking must have been a real feast for her.
気に入ってくれたみたいね。よかった。タクルも食べなさい。育ち盛りの男の子なんだから。
You're a growing boy. She was in her big sister mode now. But for now I would be the obedient little brother. My top priority at the moment was filling my stomach. I freaking love the starry-eyed look. So we got it for the food, and we had it in the imaginary scenario where we made it to Nikonia. Kazuki was staring at Kurusu as if in a trance, a small piece of ginger pork still sticking out of the side of her mouth. I'd already learned from Cool Cat Press what that expression meant. It meant she liked the food. It was the look of a woman in love. Wait, did Kazuki like girls? No. There was no way. She was probably just looking up to Kurusu because she was older. Was it Sarika who had told me that girls in puberty were like that a lot?
ちょっとカズキ、ぼーっとしてないで、ちゃんと噛んで食べなさい。それと肘をつかない。お行儀悪いわよ。
Hey, Kurusu. Kazuki is grateful to you for asking her to join the newspaper club. I'd been with her the whole time over the past 3 days, and finally I was starting to feel like I understood her. The disaster struck Shibuya 2 days after that. What? The two of us were watching the afternoon news when they suddenly switched to a live broadcast near Shibuya Station. A young female reporter was leading a cameraman up the twisty thin street that ran from the station to Dogenzaka. The text on the screen said, "Mysterious object appears in Shibuya. What is it?" Oh no. What? Oh, this is a disaster. Because somebody recognized what that device was. They were like, oh my god, that's a portal device from ESO. That's a problem. There's just another one. This is a problem. The thing is, though, you'd think that quick-ish, relatively quickly, someone would realize it's from the incredibly popular video game. Someone's gonna say something. The reporter pointed to a 1-meter tall object that was floating at the end of the street. Both Kazuki and I recognized it at once. We'd seen it ourselves just a few days before. Kazuki looked shocked. Her gaze was frozen on the TV screen. What was going on? There was no way the portal device could be on a street near the station. We'd seen it on top of the school. The young reporter moved in front of the device and continued to speak. Okay. I'd love to touch it and see what happens. Do you think Kazuki can unsummon things? The cameraman on a TV show was never supposed to speak, but this one did. The reporter stopped talking and turned around to face the portal device. The camera showed that it was changing. Do not tell me that video game monsters are going to come through. The whole portal device was starting to emit a golden light. This is either going to be a surprise Riko Haida appearance, or we are in really, really big trouble. What? The reporter gave a signal to the cameraman and started to walk toward the device. Oh god, now it's Michigan Report from Hell, where a reporter dies and then the scene changes and all of a sudden you're following a different reporter. I gulped as I waited to see what would happen next. It's not a good idea to get close to that, I said in my mind. Of course, no matter what I said here, the reporter on the screen couldn't hear me. Oh man. Oh, I was gonna say maybe we're gonna start small with wolves or something, but this I know they're playing the spooky music, but this is borderline goofy. Like, what the hell? Like, just RPG enemies are gonna appear. The reporter was as chipper as ever, which makes no goddamn sense. She was speaking in the same way she'd do a food report at a local restaurant. I could see death flags popping up everywhere. I had a bad feeling. And I couldn't help but remember the last look on that woman's face before she disappeared a few days ago. If that object on screen was the same thing, this reporter was going to disappear as well. I looked away, not wanting to see it. I could hear the reporter raise her voice in surprise. I looked back at the monitor. Oh! This is insane! I can't believe this is happening in this game! This is amazing! And I saw a monster I'd never seen before. Oh my... This is basically what led to Nier. This is a disaster. And this was called Pandemic. Like, ESO2 is an MMO. This is gonna happen all over the globe. I thought I'd switch the channel somehow, but I could see the reporter on the same screen as the monster. I can't believe this. At first I thought it was CG. I mean, I guess it kinda is. That's how unreal it seemed. It looked like a dinosaur. Its skin was bright red, its legs were as big as a human torso, and it had giant wings on its back. Its wicked-looking black horns went inwards towards its jaw. There were 5 golden orbs like jewels shining on its forehead. I couldn't see any eyes where you might expect them to be. Even on 4 legs, it was over twice the height of a human. And there were fangs in its huge mouth. The particles of light had come together to form that monster, and the TV camera had captured every second of it. If it wasn't CG, it was unreal, and the monster was moving too. This is nuts! This is the end of Golden Axe! I whispered without even thinking about what I was doing, but the reporter was getting excited instead. Taking it too far, lady. Famous last words. Do you not hear and feel it walking? Get out of there. Ooh! I didn't think they'd show it! Oh my god! Whoa! It ate her. Oh my god, how is this scenario gonna play out? How is this gonna play out? How does we reach an ending for this? The reporter had gotten close to it and it had swallowed her head in one bite. Oh man! Kazuki suddenly gave a start and screamed. Yeah, she's not getting over this. The monster finished gnawing on the reporter's head and then grabbed the headless body in its mouth and shook it violently. The cameraman screamed and the video shook violently too. He must have thrown down the camera and ran. The image was a fixed shot of the monster's legs and the bloody head lying on the ground. Also, he must have thrown down the camera and run. And then... I straight up cannot believe this. The monster roared. You know, I have to admit, when I beat Kurusu's chapter, I felt kind of bad because that would have been the perfect final branch to end on. But this story is so freaking out there. It doesn't gel with the others at all. Its thick legs started to move. It kicked the woman's head away. Oh no! And then apparently stepped on the camera since the video cut out. Oh man! Then the TV switched back to showing the studio where the newscasters and commentators were pale and sickly looking. Soon the image changed to a picture of a field of flowers with message readings, "Please stand by." That's like a joke. Speaking of which, by the way, have you ever played Final Fantasy VIII? Did you ever learn the move Devour? Because when you use Devour on an enemy, you approach it and then it does the pleasant field while waiting for you to eat the thing and then it comes back. This was a nightmare. That was a live broadcast, right? That meant all of that really happened, and there probably are going to be more portals with more monsters that may not even be that one. The ESO2 world is now real, and it's coming to us. This is... Oh, what is that? This is The Mist. This is Stephen King's The Mist. This is apocalyptic. Kazuki was covering her mouth with her hands and shaking. Her eyes were fixed on the TV screen. That, I think, was rule-breaking. Monsters don't use portal devices, do they? They either exist or they spawn in. Players use portal devices, right? This is cheating. Kazuki slowly turned toward me. But she was too shocked to speak. I ran over to her and started to shake her shoulders. She forced out the words with tears in her eyes. So a high-level monster or maybe a boss? Nice.
S2 に出てくるモンスター。レアモンスターだけど序盤から出てくるからS2 のユーザーじゃ有名かも。
Oh no. So it's the dragon god from Demon Souls. It's a boss that only appears once and you have to beat a couple bosses to get to it, but it's in the opening cutscene.
それってつまり
私の妄想はまだ。
I will say, I was waiting for something to go badly when she was conversing with us, but it all came from the portal device which she had intentionally summoned.
反響続いてるんだ。
So a fictional monster appeared in reality? But Kazuki didn't make any kind of wish like that Monday night. So where did it come from? Yeah, I gotta ask her about the rules. Can monsters come from portal devices? Are those monster spawners? Had the words she'd said changed somehow? Kazuki can't control her own powers. I remembered what Nightheart had said and shuddered. A minute later I booted up ESO2 and saw that Nightheart was logged in as well. I decided to talk to him immediately. Did you see the news on Fujisan TV? Not in real time. I saw it got uploaded later. Etchan's having a festival. Things are starting to go the way they did 6 years ago. Remember the DQN puzzle? Oh no. Reference to previous game. He was enjoying all this. What an asshole. What happened with DQN puzzle? No, but I guess I was the same when I was following the Return of the New Generation Madness at the newspaper club. Jokes aside, that broadcast was bad news. This isn't just about Shibuya anymore. The committee might take action. Whoa! Who? The Committee of 300, you know them? It's more than I knew before. No, I don't know them. They're a vast organization that controls the world from the shadows. Nice. Sounds like bullshit. 100% agree. But it exists anyway. They might take action. Might be a war, possibly. A war? I don't know what you mean. You might be happier not knowing. Ugh. I'll look it up on my side. If something comes up, I'll tell you. What are the chances it's because of Kazuki's power? The hell else could it be? You saw that portal device. Yeah. So we're sure the portal device didn't move. This is the second one, right? Yeah, I had a friend go look for me and it was still there. Gotcha. So you think it's possible to see the woman who attacked us again? You mean she might not really be dead? I get it, you're thinking she might have been sent to another portal device? Hahaha, no. Isn't it possible there was a second one that appeared on Monday and we didn't notice it? I know I said that I was sure she was dead before there was only one portal, but even if there were two, I can't imagine her surviving a teleport. If you actually reboot something like that, it'd be the greatest discovery in human history. I want it for myself. But that monster doesn't exist either, and it's out there. Huh, got me there. The F-Archdragon that ate the reporter ate a cop after that. F-Archdurg? Well, the Flame Archdragon, dude. Duh. If it can make a dragon, it should be able to make a portal device. She might still be alive. Why not go look then? Find out how many portal devices have appeared in Shibuya. Find out if anything besides that thing real booted. Oh, I can't help, by the way. Gotta grind. Are you Alright. Weren't you supposed to look into the Committee of 300? Yeah, obviously. I was trying to end things with a gag so this wouldn't get too serious. Sorry, I'm not in Shibuya right now. If the Committee intervenes, it's gonna get bad real fast, so I'm gonna spend my time on that. Tell Kazuki there's no need to play ESO 2 for a while, lol. Ugh. Ugh. This is extremely uncomfortable. A vast conspiracy that controls the world from the shadows, huh? And Sakuma was part of it. That sounded like bullshit. Even movies didn't have plots like that these days. Since there was nothing I could do about that, I'd leave it to Nightheart. What was more important to us was the portal device. We better hope they're only in Shibuya. Kazuki was looking angrily at the log of my conversation with Nightheart. I gritted my teeth too. Even if we did investigate the portal device, what were we supposed to do then? If it was created by Kazuki, would we be able to destroy it or get rid of it? Even if she couldn't control her powers, it was Kazuki who'd created it. She couldn't pretend to ignore it. There was even a dragon running around now. More people could die. We might be attacked out of nowhere like we were before. That's why I hadn't wanted to leave, but I wasn't tough enough to just leave something that dangerous out there and hide in here forever. I ran to Harajuku and got a cell phone. Nice, so I'd be able to keep in touch with the others and then called Sarika after school. This is crazy! But for now, it is time to stop the installment. Well, we certainly made a lot of progress today, didn't we? This is nuts! Kazuki made a portal device, and now that we've learned that her effect can have echoes, another portal device has appeared. And we better hope those two are the only ones, but you know it's gonna get worse. And a flame archdragon from the video game is now real. Chaos Child is doing this. This is what the plot is right now. There's a video game monster running around, and there may be more. I have got to see how this plays out. Until next time, everyone.